I do it. I try to do everything.
I'm feeling good. Feeling good. Feeling great.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I'm your host, your YouTube Messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated superstar, Tim Vicious. And we are talking about Raw this week was in Cincinnati, Ohio. And well, before we get into that, the big news that did break during the episode of Raw while the show was airing itself, PWG did announce during it that Matt Riddle is no longer going to be in the Battle of Los Angeles tournament, and Trevor Lee, I believe, is going to be replacing him instead, which is now feeding into the whole rumor mill even more now, because rumors are now out there that, you know, they want to sign Matt Riddle. WWE's going to sign Matt Riddle. He's going to appear at NXT and all this shit, this, that, and the other, you know. And he's going to be in the crowd at the takeover like they always do with the infamous, oh, look, who's here? You know? But to be honest, I'm not quite sure, because, you know, it's Matt, he's a little too friendly with hitting up some of Mother Nature's natural herbal remedies. If you know what I mean. Yeah, I'm not sure if Matt's going to pass the drug test, you know. I mean, Jesus Christ. The guy, I'm pretty sure he could go shot for shot on a blunt with RVD. But, you know, if he does get signed, that'd be, you know, all well and good. That'd be cool. You know, I've always been a firm believer of, okay, if they're out there reaching out to that talent, then that talent wants them. And if that talent's willing to sign, well, you know, they really want to get in there on it. So why not? You know? Now, that said, though, let's get on with this week's show. Raw, Cincinnati, Ohio, starts out tire locker room out on the ramp. Mr. McMahon himself out in the middle of the ring welcomes everyone. Welcome, everyone, to Monday Night Raw. And then introduces Seth and Trip. They both come down. Steph winds up, or not Steph first, Trip first comes out, talks about on how, you know, all the talent right there out on the ramp, you know, they all deserve to be proud of each other because of the level of athlete that they are, for being in the company, this, that, and the other stuff. And, you know, then passes the mic off to Steph. Steph then starts going on about on how, you know, they've made drastic changes over the past couple years, you know, on how at one point the whole Give Divas a Chance tag wound up going for 3 days straight, and then they started changing things, and then announced that October 28th they're going to do a all-women's pay-per-view called Evolution. They're going to have the Raw, SmackDown, NXT tag title, or NXT women's titles on the line, as well as the finals for the Mae Young Classic on that. And honestly, I'm happy on that, you know. Kudos, bravo. My only issue is with the fans. And I've said this before, the three most annoying fan bases you're ever going to meet in life: comic book fans, Star Wars fans, wrestling fans. And that's a damn shame, because I'm a fan of all three, and I got to deal with all three of them jack-offs. But, yeah, that's it. The fans asked and demanded, and, you know, they wanted women to have better match. They demanded that the women no longer have a butterfly belt. They got it. They got a new title. And what happens? A few days later, they shit on it, saying, oh, it looks just like the regular world title. Just be happy that they got rid of the fucking butterfly belt, man. Next thing you know, women are main eventing pay-per-views. Well, that match was okay, but it definitely wasn't worth being a main event. Shut the fuck up, you asshole. They're going out there and doing shit. The fuck are you doing? You know, and now they're getting a pay-per-view, and people are now bitching because some assholes are making jokes saying like, oh, well, so they're just basically saying that, you know, they went from having a 30-second Divas match to main event, and now they're trying to make it like they saw their mistakes. No. The way it was coming off, like, hey, we fucked up. We were giving you shit. You guys didn't take it and didn't want it. Fuck it. We're sorry. And that's on how it came off. You know? Some people, honest to God, you know, there are some fans you're never, ever going to please. Because, you know, it's as much as, like, you know, you'll have one say that, you know, they want the Universal title on TV, on Monday nights, on a regular basis. You know, and they could have anyone they want holding the title. We'll just say for the hell of it, Matt Riddle, if he'd ever got signed and he had the title. I guarantee, within 3 weeks, people would go and say like, oh, well, yeah, he's just not working like he was when he was on the Indies, and now he's boring. You get fuck knuckles like that just make you want to punch him in the head like a cheap hooker. Which, think of it, punch him in the head like a cheap hooker sounds like a good line to put on a shirt. Gotta make a note of that. Moving forward. That said though, after that big announcement, they then did go to the first match of the night. Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt, tag title rematch against the B team. Pretty decent match. It was okay. I kind of dug it, you know. It was relatively short. I mean, and I'm not bitching about the time length on it. I'm just saying, I thought it could have gone like maybe an extra 5 or 10 minutes. But I'm also a big tag team guy, and I like really nice storytelling in tag teams, you know. I mean, I grew up watching the Road Warriors as well as seeing the Dudleys in Philly. So, yeah. Anyways, match came to an end when Matt hit Curtis Axel with the Twist of Fate, and after a bit he went to go for a pin. Bo went to go stop him, went to go break the pin. Bray wound up going to throw himself at Bo, but Bo Dallas launched Bray, hit Matt, which then made him roll over, and then Curtis Axel reversed it into a crucifix pin, 1, 2, 3. That was it. So yeah, they won. After that, Matt and Bray were like, wait, that contest was wonderful. Started applauding, greeting them, you know, giving them like the code of honor and all. And then next, you know, boom, sucker punched them. Matt hit Bo with the Twist of Fate. Bray hit Axel with Sister Abigail, and then after that, that was it. So, not quite sure where they're going to go from there. More than likely, 10 gets you 20. They're going to have another rematch at SummerSlam, which, honestly, I'd be perfectly okay with. But, yeah. Next up, moving on, Sasha, we got a piss break match, Sasha and Bayley versus some local jobbers, and this was a match where, going on what I was talking about earlier, people bitching about the shit for the women. You know, there were, you know, some people were saying, oh, well, WWE was just saying that, you know, they were openly acknowledging fans weren't happy with 30-second diva matches. What do we get less than an hour later? A squash match against a women's squash tag match against 2 local jobbers. Dude, no, don't worry about, that's not the underlying story of the match. The underlying story for the match was, starting from last week, Sasha and Bayley were starting to show that they're getting back on the same page, you know? And this is what it was. You know? They both came out together. They were both working with each other. They were both like, "Aw, you're my bestie." You know? They were working like that. And that was the story. That was the story. People are fucking forgetting about that. You know? Was it a piss break? Yeah. Was it against two local jobbers? Yeah. Who the fuck cares on that part? That's not the underlying story of the match. That's the freaking big thing that's like right in front of you. Don't worry about that. Worry about everything else around it. Just... Anyways, next up we get another women's match. Mickie James going against Natayla. And Mickie leads the beginning real good of the match. Really dug it. Nice feel on it. Natty, she got her set in. She was doing good. Alexa Bliss tripped her. Took her down out of the ring. And then Nat, boom, knocked her down. Next thing you know, gets back in the ring. Mickie James, boom. Hits her with the Mick kick, 1, 2, 3. Mickie James wins. And hopefully she'll return my call one day. Moving forward though. So yeah, next up we get Tyler Breeze versus MoJo fucking Rawley. Yeah. That's about as much excitement as I have for MoJo. But honestly, this was a piss break match, but really the only takeaway from it was during the match, they had that little sidebar screen thing right there on the corner of an interview. Bobby Roode talking about how, MoJo doesn't like this guy or that guy, and they're a joke, and Roode was getting on that, so building up a small feud between Bobby Roode and MoJo. That was again, you want to be pissy about the fact that we're getting a rematch from last week? By all means, go ahead. You want to complain about on how it's a fucking piss break match? By all means, go ahead. But that's not the fucking underlying story of this match. So focus on the story, not just the action. So yeah. Anyways, MoJo got the win doing a sit down Alabama slam. Got the 1, 2, 3, and that was it. Next matchup, we got Finn Balor going against Drew McIntyre. And this, man, oh man, I swear, this definitely has some ICW roots. This definitely has ICW roots in it if there ever was any. But yeah, this great match, hands down, match of the night in my book. Match of the night in my book. Right here. Had a nice start to it, nice good start to it. Drew was in control after the break. Really digging McIntyre's work in there now. Not to say I didn't before, but you guys know what I mean. But really digging his work, really loving on how he's moving and working in there. Instead of being the chosen one, now he's coming in to just send off a message of, I'm pissed off, I'm fucking here to leave a mark, and you're all gonna have to deal with it. That's what he's coming off doing. So, yeah. Really liked on how it went. Drew played to the power big man game. Finn, liked on how Finn was starting to build comebacks, and just as he was, Drew would stop him, get the nice back and forth. Match came to an end just as Finn took out McIntyre and he was going up for the coup de grace. Ziggler came up, boom, shook the ropes, made him split the difference. Ref called for a DQ. Ziggler then came in, started pounding on him. Then out comes the CrossFit Jeebus to go and save the day and save him. And just as Drew and Ziggler are leaving, Kurt Angle comes out and pulls off his best Teddy Long, giving us a tag team match, players. And now we have Seth and Finn going against Dolph and Drew. Seth right on fire, right at the start from the time the match started up to the commercial. Right after the commercial break, Finn was the team punching bag, which honestly it makes sense Because you think about it, who was the one that was already in a match prior to this? Finn Balor was. So, it would make more sense to have the guy who's already had the shit kicked out of him, keep getting the shit kicked out of him, so that way the guy who came out to save him can get the hot tag and save the day. And lo and behold, that is exactly on how it went. Because Seth got the hot tag in, and man, he fucking cleared house good. Match came to an end. Drew McIntyre had Seth up in an electric chair position. Seth spun himself around, hit him with a Hurricane Rana, and then got Ziggler with a curb stomp, 1, 2, 3. That was it. Later on that night, we find out it's official. Seth is getting another one-on-one rematch with Ziggler for the Intercontinental title. So, yeah. Next matchup, we get another women's match. Amber Moon, Liv Morgan. Liv by herself this time. Obviously, Ruby Riott, she's still home recovering from tweaked knee. Sarah Logan barred from ringside because of the interference she ran last week. And this had a nice feel to it, you know. Nice small bit of back and forth on it. Now, no one is ever going to go and say Liv Morgan had a 27-star match and, you know, or this, that, and the other kind of shit, you know. No one's ever going to go and accuse her of that. But she held a decent match against Amber Moon, you know, and that's good. And, yep, honest to God, this night was more so focused on the ladies, rightfully so, well-deserved. And this was a hell of a match, really dug it. Match came to an end when Morgan went to go for a superplex off the top rope. Moon tossed her down, then hit her with total eclipse. Boom, 1, 2, 3, that was it. So yeah. So now next up we got the main event of the night. Bobby Lashley, Roman Reigns, #1 contendership for the Universal title. And one thing I actually kind of dug, which, again, a lot of people were shitting on, was the fact that they were, you know, showing the promo videos and build up for this match. Like, well, dude, yeah, why not? I mean, this is give it a big fight feel. Where's the harm in that? Okay, you're not buying it, so what? Let it go for the people that are. You know? It's like seeing that meme where you see a guy just going, pinching someone's mouth and, shh, let people enjoy things. That's it. Seriously, just... So yeah, excuse me. Roman leading at the start, really liked that. Lashley wound up getting in control after the break. Liked on how Bobby Lashley was utilizing on some submissions and MMA work, you know. Really dig on how Lashley, you know, really has come back since he came back. You know, he's been working. He does this, you know, the way Bobby Lashley works. He's a hell of a top talent. There's no denying that. That's what I'm trying to get out. I can't talk or think right today. I'm sorry. The AC in the Vicious Studios ain't working right, so yeah. He tends to liquefy the brain. But either way, this was a good match. Really dug it. This was... I would have to say this was just as good as their match at SummerSlam. You know? Last week. It was. I personally thought it was, you know. I mean, I thought it was decent. Especially with the way Lashley just kept looking like he was getting there. Getting there. Getting there. I mean, he just, you know... When Roman would start building up, next thing you know, Bobby would just run on over. Boom! You know, hit him with a club and arm. Hit him with a belly to belt. Hit him with a submission. Just whatever. Stop him. You know? But, match came to an end. Roman Reigns, he hit 3 Superman punches on Lashley. Not back to back to back, mind you, but during the course of the match. He hit him with them. And then afterward... After the third one, he then went to go for a spear. Lashley then did an up front kick to him. Roman went back, bounced off the ropes, and then boom, hit him with the spear. 1, 2, 3. That was it. So Roman wins. More than likely now, what I'm thinking, yes, Brock is going to. So it's going to be Roman versus Brock again. Fan speculation, nothing more, nothing less. What I'm thinking is going to happen, Roman either wins, we get a Money in the Bank cash in, or Bobby Lashley comes in mid-match, screws one of the guys over, and then insists that he gets a match. That's just personal fan prediction, you know. Don't go taking it serious. We ain't like that fuck knuckle Meltzer, you know. We ain't like that fuck knuckle Meltzer who have people calling us, giving us tips just to try and make, just so that way we can blow smoke up their ass. No, we don't do that shit here. But anyways, so that is it for this week's show, folks. So do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. Make sure you look for me on my Twitter at Tim Vicious. Do also have another account, Tim_Vicious. Use that when I get ghosted or put in Twitter jail. Also, folks, I'm on that Facebook, Gimmick Tim Ash. If you're going to look for me on there from here, make sure you let me know you found me on there from here on my Twitter at Tim Vicious, so I don't think you got your creep John going. Make sure you also check out all these cool ass cats right here on that Twitter at Some Mulligan, Kenny Killer, my two good brothers. I am Danny Sunday, and Oliver Ben, who is the executive producer for this week's show. He did provide music for this week's episode. It's out there on iTunes, Spotify, and such. Make sure y'all check it out. Details are down below. Also, make sure y'all hit Ollie up for one of these Ollie Rewind shirts. Show the man some love and support. Cranky Grandpa, Aaron _ or Cranky Asshole, I mean. Or, yeah, Grandpa. That's a botch. Cranky Grandpa, Aaron _ and Dazzy MWP. And folks, like I always say, y'all, you know me great, you hate me. Fuck you.